Sucking on my titties like you wanted me to call.
Heinous.
We're live.
Fuck the
Hello,
pain away.
everybody, and welcome to
Fuck
the
the pain away. Fuck the pain away.
Hello, everybody,
Sorry,
and
that's not like
welcome to
singing
the
Peaches. It was stuck in my head.
yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Unsolicited Opinions podcast. I am, of course, your host, the Meerkat Monarch, sometimes known as that name I can't pronounce today. God damn it, my own fucking name. With me, as always, is my co-host on the other side of the screen, Artivous Ira, and to the left of him, would it be, is Plippy, and then Dr. Evil, Shrekbane, and Tarsen. Everybody say hey.
Yay!
Yeah.
Booty
How do you
Skittles?
like them apples for an intro, huh?
You
Well,
suck.
you managed to pull it off without getting interrupted by evil.
Yeah, but
Doesn't help.
All right, we're gonna
I
talk
never
about
interrupt anyone pulling anything off.
Yeah.
It's a rule.
the last because we haven't really been able to talk about entertainment the last couple of shows.
Yeah.
In that span of time, there have been a lot of movie trailers and whatnot that have dropped that I feel are worthy of discussion.
Yeah. And also a couple of movie releases that are coming up that I'm gonna go watch, at least.
Right. We got to bring up the obvious one that was dropped last night. The new Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm guessing Jan likes the new Spider-Man trailer.
I haven't watched it.
Oh.
It's you know what? I'm gonna be honest. It's pretty cookie cutter.
Yeah. It's standard.
What's much
It's
more
a standard.
interesting, actually, is that possibly the trailer to the worst movie of all times was released.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We will get to that. But now I kind of want to talk about Spider-Man because I'm sad.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
the thing with the trailer is they could have shown something that was new
Yeah.
and different in this trailer that make us actually give a shit, but it's just more of the same kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like they even showed that they even have like the exact, remember the scene in Spider-Man 2 where he is stopping the train and it's his Spider-Man Jesus moment where he's using webbing to stop the train.
Yeah.
Well, there's a scene that they show where he's literally keeping a boat from falling apart by keeping it together with web, and his arms are outstretched like he's Jesus again, and it's like, okay, so you're just doing the greatest hits of the other Spider-Man films, and it's got to be fan service. I would have liked to seen something new in it, and the movie might still be good, but it's not going to be anything that we haven't seen before.
Well, at least they didn't fall into the trap of making it another origin story. They at least they that's the positive thing I take from it, is that it's
And there's
not
no
an
neon.
origin story. It's just a
that's
continuation.
a pretty as you set there.
Yeah, I know.
Hmm?
I know. I'm just I would it it's just I just want a good
We've already
Spider-Man
had two
movie.
Spider-Man fucking
Yeah.
origin movies. We don't need any fucking more.
No,
Everybody knows where
exactly.
Spider-Man comes from.
Yeah. So that's at least a little bit of positivity in that. But I agree. It's cookie cutter, but it's exactly what you would expect from a franchise destroying company like Sony being reined in by a more experienced franchise owner like Disney. Because
Right.
it's
It's safe.
yeah, it's
It
very
just felt too
safe.
safe to me.
Yeah, it might be. I'm not sure. It's just, yeah, it's everything you expect from a Spider-Man movie. It's the geeky moments with Peter Parker, and it's the you know, and it's also, it seems to be hinting a little bit on the sort of Hollywood favorite little thing these days, which is diversity. It does seem to be playing a little bit too much on the diversity part, but otherwise,
I don't care.
no, I
They
know.
They,
is it
yeah, they
Mary
say they're
Jane
having
Black in this?
Yeah,
yeah, they said they have like a Black Mary Jane, but they
Yeah.
sort of, even if you got there was already a Black Spider-Man, they could have actually made it about instead.
yeah, Miles Morales.
Yeah, I would have loved a Miles Morales movie, but there's no way we're
It
gonna
was
get that.
interesting, but I know nothing about him because I don't read the comics, and yet we keep seeing the same fucking Spider-Man film every few years.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. The Miles Morales storyline is based off of the fact that, Spider-Man has fallen.
Yeah.
And a kid basically has to take up the mantle that didn't want it and was told by Peter specifically, "Don't worry, man, I got this. Live your life normally. I know what this life entails. I know how bad it can be and how it can fuck up everything."
That seems like it fit very well into the universe of the movies where
Yeah.
Spider-Man has repeatedly failed as a franchise to get off its,
Yeah.
feet. So
And then he
yeah,
dies
really.
brutally. He dies brutally. And you have Miles Morales sitting there watching this dude get murked on TV, thinking to himself, if I had been there to help him, he would have survived, he would have lived. And so Peter Parker is his Uncle Ben. And it adds in a different dynamic because he's not like Peter personality wise, and so his reactions to stuff is interesting. But we're not gonna get that. We're getting, another Spider-Man reboot. And after the Avengers, after Civil War, I had high hopes for the character, and I think the writing for his dialogue is going to be good, but I think it's just going to be another Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. Well, it's a safe bet. It's something Sony needs to do because they fucked up too many franchises as of late. So they only have this shot with Spider-Man. So I think they may be going too safe, but I'm just hoping for a good Spider-Man movie without too much bullshit.
Be funny if he dies at the end.
Oh God.
They're going to at least keep him around for
Infinity
Infinity
War.
Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Infinity
got
War.
Yeah.
origin movies to
But hey, that's what happens. He goes up against Thanos and gets his ass absolutely caved in.
Could
That
you imagine
sounds
actually
like
having
the
your ass
gay
caved in?
porn.
That sounds really painful.
Yeah, and
Like,
that
could
sounds
you
like a gay
imagine, like-
porn version of the Avengers.
Like that sounds like like the kind of night
Hey,
when you
if anyone makes that, I want royalties.
when you take that Hulk dick just a little bit too deep.
All right, I'm gonna
Oh,
cave your
God.
ass in.
I hate to tell you, dude, but that shit's already been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not searching around for that. I don't need to have that imagery.
Shrek
Hold on.
has it in his library.
As a matter of fact, there is actually an entire movie about a dude whose asshole turns into a black hole and sucks in everything around him.
Oh God. Why do I need to know this, dude? Why do
You know what? You know how fucked up I am. Is I kind of want to watch this to laugh my ass off.
Oh God.
Ah, pun intended.
Oh, in that case, then you're going to be for a treat because I've
Yeah,
one of my
Shrek could
special
get it for you.
look for the schlock worst possible movie shit.
Oh God. Well, there's another trailer I want us to talk about since we're in on the Marvel or the MCU. The Guardians of the Galaxy second trailer.
Baby Groot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baby Groot is adorable.
Baby Groot is the best Groot.
Baby Groot just needs his own movie because anything else in that movie that isn't Baby Groot is going to let people down.
Yeah.
Other than Thrax laughing at people, which will always be entertaining.
I think what they need to do is just have a Groot movie with just Rocket and Groot. Just that
Yeah,
them
I'm
two
just
by themselves.
I'm
well,
just
they
worried
did
it would
travel
be
around for a while in the
Yeah.
MCU, and before they became
By
Guardians, they
themselves.
were already partners.
Yeah.
So
They could do a prequel to what they were doing beforehand.
Yeah, that
would
would
work.
actually be cool. That would be a cool fucking
Yeah.
project to do.
See? And I want royalties for that too.
God damn it!
God damn it, Evil!
He
You can't
can't.
call
Hey.
royalties on other people's properties, Evil. You
Yeah,
can't.
yes, I can. I can call
No, you
royalties
can't.
on my idea.
Don't you know his icon is fan art on the
Your
podcast?
fan art incorporating other people's copyrighted material.
No, going full week. Has any of you guys seen the Ultraman trailer?
No.
What? Oh God, do I want to see it?
Well, you're gonna have to judge that for yourself. If you want, I can link it to you.
The
I-
Ultraman trailer.
Yeah, put it in.
I don't
put it in
know
the
if I
chat.
want to do this because
No,
whenever
but-
there's
Yeah, but let's go back to the Guardians trailer while we're talking about it, because I'm actually I'm looking forward to that movie a lot, because the first one
I just
was,
hope they don't fuck it up.
yeah, but it's James Gunn behind the director seat again. I can see them making a movie that would sort of maybe not be as fun as the first one, but they wouldn't
But
they wouldn't
the
go.
first
Just
one
sat
was a
there behind the
playground
director's
movie.
seat, just afraid, just
Yeah.
peering out now and then at what's going on, going, "Oh God, we don't want to see this film.
Yeah.
I'm messing up bad." Because most people, they sit behind the camera or on the seat, just pointing that out for you.
Yeah.
I think it's a situation where the first movie was a playground movie because they didn't think it was going to succeed. They
Yeah, kinda
generally
like
did
Deadpool.
not.
Kind of
They
like Deadpool.
generally didn't think this movie was going to be as much bigger than it was than its other Marvel properties that had been throwing all this money into and all this attention.
Yeah.
Well, you have to remember, it was
And-
just the fact that it just had the word Marvel in front of it and made people care, because all these people, suddenly had been reading Guardians of the Galaxy since they were toddlers all of a sudden.
Yeah. We're a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy fans all of a sudden.
It all of a sudden just sprouted up. Who were
Yeah.
always fans. They've been reading since they were wee nippers.
Yeah.
I always thought the comics were lame, to be perfectly honest. It was like the movie. Like it's one of the few times the movie is better than the comics because the comics are nowhere near that funny or entertaining.
Are you talking about
They're just weird.
Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy comics are just weird
1970s
And-
version.
and barely make sense.
yeah.
Yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy comics are like they start in the middle of a big universal event in the setting, and Groot talks there like a normal person. He's not nearly as entertaining as such.
Yeah.
Are you saying without the magic of Vin Diesel it doesn't work? Because that was what everyone's saying. All I'm hearing is people basically say Vin Diesel isn't great. I say, screw you. He's a great man. Iron Giant, Guardians of the Galaxy is Groot. That man makes you cry.
Yeah.
Typically with only one word. That's how great that man is. Greatest actor of our time.
Well, they don't really need him in the new one because it's synthesized, so it's
Yeah.
Not going to go see it then. Don't care.
because they have to
Diesel's
make
dulcet tones, I
it's
don't
Baby
care.
Groot saying it, so it's not
They
Vin
have
Diesel
him.
really.
They have him
it's-
dragging the remote for a bomb into a cavern, screaming, "I am Groot!" So I think
By
it's
the
gonna be
way-
okay.
By the way, I am watching the Ultraman trailer right now, and I just got to say there is a huge
looks pretty good.
shot on Ultraman CGI bulge. It is really. really
you're just happy to see gigantic penis.
Let me see.
Why wouldn't you be?
Well, again, not all of us are Germans.
Now, this is
You just want to see something.
Hold on. This is a perfect segue into the next trailer that I would like to talk about, which is a little bit dated.
A Serbian film part 2, The Squishing.
No, it is a horror movie that I think is a real contender for worst movie ever, called Handjob Cabin.
Oh God.
I don't think this is a horror movie. This might be another kind of movie that we alluded to earlier.
That's my autobiography right there, lad. That's what I want.
Sharp Cabin. The Adventures of Plippy.
Hey,
I'm sorry, but
Excuse
it
me, I'm walking
sounds
around
like
with the flat. I'm driving over the flatbed truck. On the back of it, just some wood, and I say to him, "Hey, want to build this cabin? I'll reward you."
every
I feel like I
goddamn
deserve
movie
royalties
Shrek
for
We're
is.
that
gonna
one, but
build
I
a
don't want
cabin. We're gonna do his
Oh
hand
my god,
jobs.
Ultraman just did a judo throw of this giant monster, Godzilla monster.
Did he do it with his rock hard nipple?
Not this time, no.
No.
Not this time.
I'm watching the trailer right now.
There is
This is very
something
weird.
about Japanese cinematography that really bothers me. I can't put my finger on it, but you know, at the shots at the beginning with all the crowds, it just looks really wrong to me, and I can't put my finger on why. And this is something that keeps happening with Japanese stuff.
They generally don't like moving the camera at all.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
In a time of
Yeah,
destruction.
it really depends.
Like if you watch like just Japanese cinema in general, you'll notice that moving the camera isn't something they do a whole lot.
Well, it depends.
Like stuff happens on camera, but the camera never moves. Like they'll never do like a panning shot or a steady cam shot. Like that stuff doesn't happen. It's just
This film does not
still
look
camera
good,
to still camera to still camera to still camera.
Well, yes, they're not big on the sort of majestic setting shots.
Cinematography.
Well, not cinematography, but more the Western tradition is more of establishing shots that give you something emotionally. And in Japanese film culture, the more important thing is the story. So not so much the visual, but they're trying to convey a moral. They're trying to convey a story. So it's what are you laughing at now? You fucking
Ultraman trailer. It looks so fucking awful.
yeah.
I didn't even know about it, and now I kind of just
Yeah.
it would hurt my
They
heart
were
to
really
look at
proud
it.
of animated guys. They were really proud that they were able to animate his ankle. There's the highlight for you right there.
Yeah, but it's Japanese have their own interpretation of the cinematic language. Yes, that is very true, Angela. That's exactly what I was.
Are you hearing the voices again?
No, I'm talking to chat because chat is behaving today.
But yeah, I've also noticed in terms of like music, Japanese have a very different way of approaching it. Like it's very obvious if you play something like Kingdom Hearts, where they've ripped out of the music out of a lot of Disney scenes, so it's now silent because their idea of dramatic is silence during an important event, and the music is in the less important events.
Mhm.
And it really does ruin. It's part of the reason why I really dislike those games. Just they completely massacre Disney stuff.
Yeah, like Kingdom Hearts. The massacre of but I think I'm gonna watch that Ultraman movie. I don't know.
Because he wants to see the penis.
I want to see the penis.
I do think the monster design looks kind of nice though.
We all laugh, but if you were hung like the Eiffel Tower, you wouldn't be ashamed of it.
That is fucking true.
That's a physical
in the middle of fighting Mothra, you get a stiffy. Oh god!
Oh,
You slap him with it.
I gotta bring in another icon then, since Roy has joined us. But that's okay.
No, I'm sorry, but cock slapping Godzilla might be the most gangsta thing ever.
I don't know. I was watching the Godzilla film that came out a couple of years ago, and I was there thinking, this feels like I'm being slapped in the face by someone's cock watching this film.
You're laughing now, but Godzilla porn also does exist.
Yes, I know.
That is not surprising in any way whatsoever.
34 bot.
Be reminded of it.
I'm guessing the furries were flocking to that one.
Right there.
Let's ask our local expert.
Can confirm.
You see? Thank you for the assist.
Just FYI, sore throat today was really bad. Had to get it under control before I could come on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's totally unrelated.
But
to
I
giant
don't,
penis.
I don't understand why there's
It
still
is.
Ultraman like products in general.
Why?
God, why are we
Because
talking
it
about
was
Ultraman?
always the goofiest, dumbest show. Like I never understood why
To
this show
us.
wasn't.
I'll be
To
honest.
us.
I'll be honest.
To Japanese people.
Love
Carry on,
giant
Roy.
penises.
Honestly, I think this shit is great. Like sometimes I go on YouTube and I just randomly click through like Asian movies. I have no usually in Korean, but I have no idea what the fuck they're even talking about. Like no subtitles, nothing. I don't even know what the title of the movie is. I just go like, okay, this is some crazy ass shit. Okay,
I
I'm
like
gonna
Korean
watch
films.
this.
I've got a big collection of Korean films over there. I really quite enjoy them.
Yeah.
But
Korean-
all I can
Korean
think of
films are
is that I
different
will say
because-
that when I saw Ultraman for the first time, I thought it was amazing that all that pornography that I have is actually based on something. I thought it was its own genre. I thought someone, as a young lad in Japan, watched Power Rangers and actually just really, really held on a thing for the pink one.
Does everything have to lead into porn?
Dude,
I still
Okay.
okay. Live.
I'm glad I got that that clarification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a wish from chat. Should we talk about? Oh, just give me a second. I need to find the fucking thing again.
still
Yeah,
have,
the
like,
mummy, the
5 other
mummy,
true.
the mummy.
Oh, dude.
Brendan
The
Fraser,
Mummy.
the greatest actor of our time.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, but seriously, that trailer just looks fucking wrong. I'm sorry. It
It came out in
It just looks
1998,
rough.
dude.
it just
It came out in
Doesn't
98,
it-
so...
Doesn't it have a
No,
certain
no,
side-
no, 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 no.
Could they do any
The
worse
new
than Plastic
one.
Fantastic, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Scorpion Mutant? Like, could they
yeah.
do any worse than that?
Jan, I'm talking about the new one, the one with Brendan Fraser, the new one, not the old one that came out in the 50s. Jeez.
The new Tom Cruise movie that is based upon the Mummy franchise that is coming out next year.
What, Mission Impossible, the mummification? That's
Yes.
coming out now.
Yeah, but
God, those
it's just-
Scientologists are into some weird shit.
I mean, seriously, it looks like it does look like Mission Impossible, the Mummification. TM Plippy.
Is he?
Does he look so
I can't remember. Is he running in the trailer? Is Tom Cruise running?
Yeah.
Is that
He's
under the
running.
story
He's
cinema?
He's not blowing. He's just this.
Oh, he's blowing somebody, but
Yeah.
John Travolta's not there.
Oh yeah, he is blowing somebody. But the other thing is that there's a plane crash. He tries to get this parachute on a woman who somehow is it's weird, and it's no longer Imhotep. It's the
What? He's the mummy.
No, it's Princess Amunet instead
I'm
of
just going to
Imhotep.
point to the link in the side chat.
What?
Yeah.
Does the trailer actually have the whoop, 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 whoop sound effect in it? Like all trailers do these days.
No, not that I can remember, at least.
the whoa.
Does Tom Cruise suspiciously not standing next to anyone?
Of course, of course. He's always in the foreground, and everybody else is behind him, and he's standing on a soapbox.
The man with the longest legs up to his kneecaps, apparently. Not because he's standing on a box, it's because his body just shaped that way. Damn it!
Yeah.
So,
Hold on.
Trailer,
Is
like,
Peter Dinklage in this film?
is this mummy portrayal related to any of the other mummy films?
No, it's a
It doesn't
reboot.
look like it.
Yeah, it's a reboot of the franchise, but it has fuck all to do with the old 1932.
Yes, but-
it's not a remake; it's a reboot. So it's a reimagining.
But it's Peter.
So I guess
Peter Dinklage
It's a
in this
reboot
film.
of a reboot.
can go any lower.
What?
So basically, they just kept the name. They just
It's
kept
a
the title.
re-reboot.
Yeah, it's
I guess is that they felt they hit the bottom of the barrel with the previous film and felt they couldn't.
Oh God, did they?
They might-
I know how they beat the. I know how they beat the bottom of the barrel. I know how they beat it. Does the
Scorpion
end of the
King
trailer
5.
come up with The Mummy, 2017,
Yeah.
and then after it flashes up with He Was Kings.
Yeah. Oh.
Where was Kai?
I mean, it just.
So
it-
you get the Mummies wrappings off, and it's Snoop Dogg under there, or what?
No, it's not.
No,
It's
no, no,
not
no.
Imhotep. It's not Imhotep. It's
Wesley Snipes
Amunet.
sits up at the end of it going, I knew it!
Yeah,
The movie would be about
it's Rachel
Reed if-
Dolezal.
no. You get all the wrappings off, and it's Peter Dinklage in blackface.
Oh God.
Then he starts dancing.
Peter
Yes.
Dinklage in blackface needs to happen now.
What's
I
an
know.
Optic Urns?
I know. I'm.
Optic Urns? Oh,
Dancing to the Game of Thrones theme, but naked, it would be the greatest thing ever.
Now.
He must actually start dancing, saying, hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my ragtime gal. He's out and do the dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want
All
to
I'm
see.
hearing is I need to get a Peter Dinklage and
When
Photoshopping.
did Peter Dinklage turn into fucking Michigan J. Frost?
Now I want to see a remake or a reboot of the Leprechaun with Peter Dinklage.
Hold on. Which leprechaun are you talking about? It was Leprechaun in the Hood.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
Leprechaun in
it's
the
the same.
Hood was
It's the
amazing.
same franchise. It's the same franchise. It's
Same
Warwick
actor as well,
Davis.
isn't it?
Yeah, all of it
Warwick
is
Davis,
Warwick
Warwick
Davis.
Davis,
Yeah, all of it's Warwick Davis.
Because they realized only black people were going to go see these Leprechaun movies, and so they made Leprechaun in the Hood. That's how that happened.
And
Well, that's
Leprechaun back
embarrassing.
in the Hood. Leprechaun back in the Hood, and then Leprechaun in
Yeah.
space. So
Didn't they have like Ice-T in it?
yeah, I
Yes,
think so.
Ice-T was
Yes,
in a
yes.
Leprechaun in the Hood movie.
I still do anything, man.
Yeah, he will.
He does not care.
And he doesn't pretend to. He's like, if you pay me, I'll be in it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I think the only time I think he's ever put up any kind of actual acting real attempt and pulled it off was in the Chronicles of Riddick game, Escape from Butcher Bay. That was it.
yeah,
That's the only time he's actually acted. I thought he really nailed it there.
yeah. But what is the final judgment on the Money movie? Because I think they're going to crash and burn. Because one of the reasons why they're doing this is that they said they wanted an R-rated type of horror movie. It looks like a PG-13
Oh, no.
Would Tom
action.
Cruise attach himself to something that was incredibly edgy in any way, though?
Not since.
Has he done anything that's even moderately successful that wasn't Jack Reacher or a Mission Impossible film in the last, I don't know, 20 years?
Yeah, but that's all he's done the last 20 years. So yeah, he's done quite a bit of money on that one. So he's still
War of
bankable
Worlds
stuff.
didn't tank. It just got critically slaughtered. So it did pretty well. It didn't flop. At least. So. But other than that, he hasn't really. He's kept a low profile on. Oh no, Edge of Tomorrow. Edge of Tomorrow.
Actually,
Edge of Tomorrow was really good, actually.
Yeah. I will say I'll never forgive Tom Cruise for his War of the Worlds film because it introduced the whole world to Dakota Fanning, and we all had to pretend she was talented for ages. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, God, dude.
Remember Taken, the series?
Yeah.
No.
Building an entire series around one child actor. Great idea.
Wasn't the series actually about...
At least they could go with the Disney model and actually get kids that they know for a fact are going to be hot when they get to be teenagers and grown up. When you're just going on it based on acting talent, oh, you're screwed. It's like that film. What was the name of that? Was shot over 14 years. What was it called? The Boy or something? It came out. Does anyone remember this one? It came out this year.
you mean
Filmed over 14
the
years.
Fritzl surveillance tapes?
Hang on, let me Google this. That's what it is. Boyhood. That's what it's called.
Yeah. Since we were kind of tangentially touching
Me.
touching this person, Dwayne the Rock Johnson is playing in the reboot of dear 90s TV series Baywatch.
Okay. Here's the thing. I love this trailer, and here's why. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is realizing that he's the Jackie Chan of American action films.
Yeah.
So is Dwayne replacing Pamela Anderson in Baywatch.
He has a
Uh,
spectacular rack.
No, I think he's.
No, here's the thing. Okay, Jackie Chan got popular and got notoriety because at a time where everybody was trying to be a Bruce Lee clone,
Yeah, he went
he was
the.
the funny guy.
Yeah.
He was the goofy guy. He was he was the lovable loser. And so he made a career about being, not the stoic tough guy all the time. And Dwayne The Rock Johnson has realized that he's that dude for American action movies. Every time he does like the stoic, like serious action dude, the movie flops.
That's not
Every
his
time.
personality isn't stoic though. That's his problem. If he tries.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's a jokester. He loves comedy. He loves joking around. He doesn't take the majority of things seriously. He's just a nice guy that way. So him being like this big brute, like brutal person doesn't fit. But when he's being completely ridiculous and having fun, his movies make money.
Yeah,
Hmm.
And he's learned to stick to his strengths.
Yeah.
yeah.
I kind of want to see the Jumanji film, you guys, just because it's got The Rock in it and that really hot girl.
Yeah, that's the thing.
From Doctor Who.
Like he all right. The movies where he's a goofball in aren't generally good scripts. They're not good movies to begin with. But watching him act ridiculous is worth the price of admission.
Like that recent movie he did.
Yeah, but that's
Central Intelligence.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Central
Central
Intelligence.
Intelligence was amazing just because it was an hour and 30 minutes of him being utterly retarded.
and
and
the
it being amazingly
sequel
funny.
to Get Shorty, wasn't there? What was that called again? The sequel to Get Shorty.
It was Get Tally or something, wasn't it? It was something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I
He
think
plays
Pain
a
and Gain
gay.
was kind of that turning point for him.
Yeah, but he played a gay.
Be cool. Be cool.
Yeah, a gay bodyguard.
That was been Be Cool.
Yeah, Be Cool.
That actually got him semi-fired by WWE. That did because they thought, "How are you playing a homosexual? You're a manly man," so they fired him for it.
Yeah.
Shows you
That
where
was
they
dumb.
Yeah. That was idiotic.
went on to be the most bankable star in the world, and they were begging him to come back years later.
Yeah,
Begging.
They did make him to
Because
come back.
that movie, I'm not giving it too much credit, but that really showcased his comedic talents, in my opinion. He was hilarious in that movie, even though the screenplay fucking sucked.
Yeah, if you have him having fun on set, you're generally going to get a funny movie. So Baywatch probably is going to be. It's not going to be the greatest film ever, but if you want to see a funny dumb movie, it's probably going to be worth your money.
Yeah.
Good Sunday afternoon if it's on telly kind of film.
Yeah.
Like
I think so.
it's self-conscious enough to make fun of itself. So
Oh yeah, a self-aware Baywatch would an unself-aware Baywatch will not work these days.
yeah, literally
you-
screaming at you guys. You're not cops. You don't do investigations. That's not what you do.
You should actually have someone filming all the female characters like Michael Bay films Megan Fox, but the film is aware that it's stupid when it does it.
Yeah.
As
Like
opposed
they
to Michael Bay,
like
who
they
just
make
makes
fun of the fact that they run in slow motion. Like
that should be the gag. It's that they're also buff. They've got no cardio, so the reason that they're running really slowly while doing dynamic poses, and everyone else is just walking past them eating ice cream at normal speed.
Anyways, yeah, but I think that I know I've spoken against this time and time again, but the Hollywood reboot remake stuff, yes, it's inevitable because it's like putting up a new play every time, and Hollywood only seem to have so many fucking plays available to them.
But here's the thing now, they are so desperate for out-of-the-box hits, because the way they do it now, instead of I don't want to be an old man waxing lyrical here, but in the olden days...
Too late.
In the oldie days, basically you'd have lots and lots of little budgets going to different films, and some of them would be, and a number of them would be hits. That was good. These days, it all has to be guaranteed hit, and that's why Sony are almost amusingly incompetent at this.
Yeah.
They take films that probably were quite good, and then they cut them to shreds. And the one
Yeah.
film that wasn't cut to shreds by the executives,
Like the new Barbie movie. Oh!
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
I
The
want
Barbie
that movie to
film.
happen so badly. Like, I need for them to make this Barbie movie with Amy Schumer. I need it to happen. I need it to be a complete clusterfuck absolutely everywhere on social media.
I
Where
sort of,
people are
I'm sort
losing
of,
their shit
I think
everywhere
I figured it out,
just for
guys.
this movie to bomb and possibly hard like we all know it's going to.
I
I-
figured
Like,
it out. I figured it out. I know what this is. This is the ultimate feminist end game. They hate Barbie, so they're gonna destroy her.
no, they hate stories in general, so they're gonna destroy
No.
all the archetypes. That's what smashed the
But wait, when has
patriarchy is.
Barbie ever had a story?
Well, she's got this boy called Ken, and he really, really has no personality, and neither does really Barbie. But she wears pretty clothes and has a really expensive lifestyle.
Are they gonna get Chris to play him as well?
no, they should get Seth.
Seth Rogen?
Seth
Yes.
Rollins, well,
No, Seth Rogen.
Seth Rice.
Get the
Pick him up.
failed beer ad team back together.
Oh God,
Oh.
yeah.
I want this movie to happen more than anything. I want this movie to happen so badly. I
You
do.
managed to sink Bud Light, a company where even the actual product doesn't drive people off. That's a problem.
Yeah. Anyways, while you guys were talking, I watched the War for the Planet of the Apes trailer. And
Yes. Yes.
I know I just went on a rant on reboots and remakes, but I kind of
Yes.
want to watch that movie.
Oh. I've never been a big Planet of the Apes fan. I've tried to like the films, I just don't. That's the problem.
Yeah,
But
what are you talking about? The standalone Tim Burton disaster, or the
old
awesome
ones?
old ones with
I've
Charles?
seen the old ones. I've seen
I've only
the
seen
Tim
the
Burton ones.
sequels.
I've tried to watch the recent ones. None of them work for me.
The only good one in my mind is the Simpsons musical, which unfortunately doesn't actually exist.
Dr. Zayas,
Dr.
Dr.
Zayas.
Zayas, Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas, oh,
Yeah,
Dr.
I
Zayas.
the new films are actually quite good. It's just I couldn't be bothered to really watch them. I saw like the start of the first, I think, and I kept
Yeah.
thinking like there's something wrong about the way they're treating this monkey, and I can't figure out why. It seemed very dumb. But yeah, apparently like they're quite popular, but I don't know why.
I think it has to do with the idea of humanity being so and the ape sort of representing the animalistic part of humanity, but also
I
It's-
always
it's-
thought
it's-
it.
it's
I always
weird.
thought it was like, how would we would look like to, because the monkeys are basically us in the future. That's the big twist. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
The big twist is that we're in the future and the humans have all been wiped out, and the apes have taken over and they treat the humans like shit. I thought this was sort of like an allegory for slavery or how we treat animals or something.
And I think it's more how we treat the other allegory type of deal. But it's
Yeah, that was kind of the point of the first movie.
Yeah.
Was that he basically they were pretentious and looked down on him because he was a man, but he looked down on them because they were monkeys, and him getting over his bigotry as much as, you know, those apes that were in contact with him and on his side were getting rid of theirs.
And it's a
I
huge
wanna say, well,
anti-war
before we
movie.
move on,
Really.
I've always said about Artivous earlier, but talking about the Barbie film, he needs it to happen with Joe Rogan.
Oh,
Reed has just pointed out that so not Joe Rogan, Seth Rogen, whatever the fuck his name is.
yeah, Joe Rogan would be funny though.
He'd just be screaming, "Give the pussy, man! Smoke weed, get pussy."
Yeah.
But Reed has just pointed out into the chat there is actually a Change.org petition to get Paul Feig to direct it.
I thought he already had that.
Yeah,
I thought they were already going to have him do it.
Yeah, I think I actually have read that somewhere. that Paul
After that
Feig is saying,
pretentious
'cause-
ass fucking article about him learning what it means to be a woman after directing Ghostbusters, and like, really,
He did
you
that. Really?
fucking yes, he literally compared his plight to being a woman
Yep.
and what it means to be a woman and whatnot. Like, dude, just get a fucking sex change and stop inflicting your pain on the rest of the world by ruining other people's
think
shit.
any less, like any more stereotypical male feminist than claiming that you now understand what it's like to be a woman.
Yeah.
It's the most narcissistic shit. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. But it's
I think
Paul
it's amazing.
Feig.
It couldn't possibly be because it was him. It had to be because he now knows what it's like to be a woman. The problem is never them.
He's just
Who's more pathetic, him or who? Paul Feig or Josh McIntosh? Who's more pathetic?
no, he's way
Yes.
worse than
Macintosh.
Whedon.
No. Macintosh. Feig is,
Macintosh is the
Feig
king
is
because
yeah.
Macintosh can enjoy anything.
Feig,
Yeah, that's
Feig
true.
actually has managed to get somewhere in life. Macintosh will never produce anything in his entire life. All he can do is complain
Macintosh-
about other people's work.
Macintosh literally has to spend 24 hours a day just being butthurt about absolutely everything he comes into contact with being sexist. He's drinking the Kool-Aid so hard that there's nothing he can't find sexist fault with whatsoever.
I don't think
Everything is bad.
I don't think he's drunk the Kool-Aid. I think he just genuinely
Of
has a massive
creating a
security
connection
problem.
with another human being anymore. No one likes him, as far as I can tell. They just flat out don't like the guy, and he is the most tedious person to be around because he truly just cannot shut up. Cannot enjoy anything without claiming there is something wrong with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just seems to have gone to this point where he can't really consider him a human anymore because he can't form connections with anyone.
No.
He's just this robot that complains all the time. You know that joke strip about the guy who builds a robot who just screams, a feminist robot just screams rape all the time. He just asks, why? He just starts talking about it. Yeah, I don't know actually. Why did I do that? That's Macintosh, and the person wondering why they did it is could be anyone really, but I guess it's Anita Sarkeesian who's sort of wondering, why did I create him like this? And that's why she left. She just went like, I've done a horrible mistake. I should never create this man.
Yeah.
I think it's the other way around. I think she basically worked out one day. I don't need you. No one listens to me anyway. Really, they just need to hear my name and oppressed and give money. That's all I need.
Yeah.
I called this over a year and a fucking half ago, where that entire situation where she was a con person, basically running this bullshit, and he was the true believer. Basically, she used him for insight, and then when she didn't need him anymore because she was famous enough to run the con without him, then she ditched him.
I love how we
She just-
managed to
Oh,
get
God.
dragged into the regressives again.
Well, people keep bringing up fucking Macintosh because they're fucking obsessed with this douchebag.
Sorry, Evil,
and
I
every
didn't
time he
mean to
says
interrupt
something fucking retarded, people are like, "Oh, Jonathan Macintosh said something fucking retarded again," and I'm like, "Yeah, he kind of does that." So we
Yes.
stop giving this dude attention so he can kill himself in a Holiday Inn bathroom because he saw tits on fucking cable by accident on the TV. Just stop fucking talking about him. Stop it.
Because he's
No, stop it.
He's a wonderful little insight into if I was
No, stop. He is
kill myself.
literally.
He is my suicide
the-
watch, all right? If I ever watch Macintosh and think, yeah, I know just to end it right there and then. That is my button.
Stop it. Just
I'm
let
watching,
him.
I'm watching the trailer for Transformers 5 the last night. And it seems
Optimus
like...
is evil now.
What?
Didn't you see Optimus going nuts and trying to fucking kill the human?
Oh, yeah.
And-
They used
And
films to have a
Bumblebee.
story.
But it just seems like Michael Bay just jacked off then spunked on the
That's
camera.
every Transformers movie.
Yeah,
He brought the
that's true.
mayhem.
True.
Leave it alone. It's already
Yeah, just stop
dead.
making Transformers. Like, I don't see how these are still making money. Like, who are going to see these Transformers movies?
Chinese people.
We have actually
No,
started to see a
I'll
decline
tell
in
you-
them, though. They have
I'll
started
tell
to
you
decline
who's
finally.
going to see them. People who grew up and they heard about the Transformers, were never really interested in it, but now they have children, so they say, "Oh, well, I'll take them to see Transformers because it has giant robots."
Bastard.
I'll be honest. When Megan Fox left, no interest in watching those series anymore. She was the only reason, so I watched it with volume off and the pause button ready.
What, you didn't even
What?
watch it for the giant Transformer balls?
Why not? Why not just check out
Why
the porn star that has a parody of her instead?
I don't do second best, mate. I pick the source.
Oh, dude, she is better than fucking Megan Fox.
I doubt that, mate.
Yeah, but anyways, it's just it seems like Michael Bay can't leave well enough alone with those fucking movies.
Do you reckon he just directs him with a tear in his eye every time, just thinking, "Is this art?"
Yeah,
No, I don't
while
think he
drying
cares. I think
himself
it's,
with
I can
$100
make some money
bills.
until the next fucking film.
Yeah,
The only thing Michael cares about artistically is explosions. Aside from that, he's mainly in it for the money, and that's fine. He's very
Yeah, he's pretty obvious. He's into just making, pitchy kind of action movies. Which, the funny thing is when he's left to make his own stuff that isn't a part of a property, he makes good stuff.
yeah.
Like I've talked about this before, where he, Pain and Gain was good, Bad Boys good. When he makes movies that he's in charge of the storyline and the whole point of the movie is to be an action movie, then they're actually pretty decent. But give him a property and he will fuck it up.
The Rock wasn't that Michael Bay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was his first major
And that was
direct
good.
job.
I
Yeah,
really
and
enjoyed that.
really good movie. I fucking love The Rock.
I think I was like 12 at the time, but yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think I must
Never give him an existing property.
No,
That is
exactly.
the key.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Agreed.
Wow, I just checked this. The total box office of the Transformers movies is 4 billion.
Yep.
Yeah.
4 billion. No, so that's why they keep making
That's
them.
about $4,050 too much.
I'm just saying, if you want to know why they keep making them, that's it.
Has anybody?
That's why they
seen
keep
this-
doing it.
Has anybody seen this new thing that has come out apparently recently that Gamergate has the investigation by the FBI has been formally closed?
Uh-huh.
This includes the Massachusetts and Boston investigations.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing was bound up over at the San Francisco FBI, and they're like, okay, we were able to track down 2 people, and we determined that these were jokes.
Yeah.
And it's also clear that this includes Brianna Wu's entire slew of bullshit.
Yeah, they had the multiple.
They
multiple
also
emails that came
realized
out
that it was
basically
pretty
said-
obvious.
Yeah,
That it was obvious that they were sending threats to each other.
Yeah,
And
I'm
I
just
think
reading
the
through this
funniest
whole
thing-
thing.
the funniest thing that you'll find in there is one, Brianna Wu always reports things to the police or the FBI months after they happen,
Mhm.
and to which they responded to her, "Could you actually tell us when this is happening?" And one time where she claimed she got threatening phone calls, the FBI officer looked into it and went, "You seem to get these phone calls from this person fairly often, and they're quite lengthy conversations.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you. Why are we gonna do that?"
It's an 83-page document. All just to go through all this stuff and say, yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, no, joke, yeah, no.
Doesn't surprise me though. Does
And
not.
actually,
fucking
FBI
And
surprise me.
there's like one guy who they found is like, yeah, he did make a threatening statement. Apparently he lives with his parents and he's a video gamer and he considers himself a tech guy. And he created an email account to send one letter that was a nasty gram, and the FBI shows up on his doorstep and he's like, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. Okay, that was it.
My favorite, I think the bestest part of the whole thing was you could see in the letters them just getting fed up with Wu.
Yes.
There was some glitches where you got the feeling that basically they I wouldn't say deliberately, but almost were just kind of like, oh god,
Oh my god!
code in the letters. Just
Thursday, January 29th, 2015, FBI receives an email naming the Ralph retort as a source on Gamergate.
and the FBI actually tracked down to something awful, even though Wu was obsessed about 8chan and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were. Everybody told them it was SA trolls, but because a lot of them were getting paid to do it because they wanted to.
Wagon Gate. The Bill Wagner crew is named in here more often than anybody else that I can find.
Oh god, those guys. Oh. But that was just it was just the whole thing. It's exactly what I thought. She's just an attention. She's she's an odd combination of intensely stupid and a massive attention seeker. People think she's brilliant. No, she's not. She just lucked into it with a bizarre personality, and the media willing to believe her no matter what because they hated the gaming public so much. That's what happened.
Yep.
Rage.
Anyways, even though
Sorry, I just
Yeah.
It's like wow.
Yeah, I was reading it as well.
Yeah, no worries, man. I was actually waiting for a source on that because we discussed it in chat earlier. So that's good that they've actually released that.
Too good for the audience, you see.
Are there any other movies that we could sort of?
Yes.
Yeah, there are plenty.
Sky Sharks.
Oh no! Stop it!
What? What?
No.
What?
You don't know Sky Sharks?
Yes. And
What?
I know of Sky Sharks.
Is
yes.
this Sharknado? Is this
No, it's not.
No,
is
no,
this
no.
Asylum trying to remake Sharknado?
No.
It's a 1980s
No.
90s toy line.
Basically, no. Imagine Sharknado with Nazis.
Oh God!
Wait, what?
Sky Shark.
I'm putting the link in the slide chat. I think it looks pretty damn promising.
Oh yeah,
Sky-
Ghost.
is it the sequel to Iron Sky? Is what we're talking about here?
No,
No.
Iron Sky already has a sequel.
Official Sky
this is
Sharks
a different
Flying
one.
Zombie Nazi Sharks movie.
Yes.
Flying
I don't
Zombie
even-
Nazi Sharks.
Well, there's a bunch of parody memes. Have you ever heard them?
That is a mouth fucking fool, dude.
Oh,
That
Deep
sounds
in the
like
ice of
somebody-
the Antarctic. A team of geologists uncover an old Nazi laboratory still intact where dark experiments had occurred. So, yeah, the Nazis. Old Nazi Antarctic
It
secret
sounds
base.
like
There we go.
8chan exploded into a screenwriter's room.
Does
Yes,
Harambe just sort of come out?
sharks
Is
able
Harambe
to
the big
fly.
bad? Is Harambe the big bad? Is that what the big conclusion is?
No, but it wouldn't fucking surprise me if a monkey turned up in this movie.
Here we go. The only thing that can stop them and possibly save the world is a military task force called Dead Flesh 4, assembled from reanimated American soldiers who fell in Vietnam.
A Harambe.
Yes, we have the royal flush.
Soldier 52.
It's Soldier 76
Why?
Reborn.
Did they get
Why-
Dolph
why?
Lundgren back? Get Dolph Lundgren back. He's the man that can pull
Wha-
this role.
Why?
Even
They didn't have me until the reanimated American Vietnam vets. There we
oh
go.
god.
I just want it to be filled with someone from Brussels, an Austrian, and God knows where Dolph Lundgren's from. I want decidedly
oh my
muscular,
god,
un-American
the
people
shark
playing
is
these roles.
attacking the airplane. Holy
Yes!
fucking shit! And it just ate a kid.
Yes.
There's a
Oh
million-
my god!
I've
This is-
seen these films a million times before.
It's like the 80s.
they're
It's
never as
like the
cool as you
80s
think they are.
exploded into 8chan.
My partner is a connoisseur of absolute garbage movies. She thanks you.
Yeah, this is just. Oh my god, this trailer is just hilarious. Oh my god, they even got a Rambo parody and a zombie! Holy shit, a zombie at the end! Oh my god!
This one's got everything.
Is this Germans? Please tell me it's Germans. It has to be Germans. Flying zombie shark Nazi shark movie trailer 2017. Yeah. No, this is actually Japanese. Oh my god, it's a Japanese production company.
I don't know about you guys. I want to see this.
The script was written by A.D. Morel. Well, A.D. Morel, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that fucking LSD trip that made you write this screenplay. Holy shit. The dislike to like bar is just amazing. Yep. There's a bunch of movies coming up in the near future that's just gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, I've also seen a trailer for the Wall, I think it was, with Matt Damon.
Is that the Trump documentary?
No, it's like it kind of reminds me of, you know, the White Walkers in Game of Thrones. It sort of reminds me of that threat, only it's in China instead of, you know, that fancy world. And I remember there being a lot of hubbub about Matt Damon playing the main character in this film. People saying it was whitewashing and racist, even though his character was supposed to be a foreigner, and this was decided by the Japanese filmmakers.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks good, I think, and I do want to see it. And the other film's coming out in 2017 that one eyes on is Ghost in the Shell, which I'm very conflicted on.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
right
wait.
there with you on that one.
I'm in the wait till I see.
Good
with that one.
visuals. Like the setting looks interesting, visually interesting at least. It's got some nice effects. I've seen the geisha robots. They look fucking awesome, actually. But then you've got that camo suit where, you know, she's basically running around in a skin-tight, skin-color suit, and
She's gained some weight. It's noticeable.
not only that, but like it doesn't translate that well from the movie to the live action, and it didn't look that good in the movie either. But it's so much worse in the film, and it doesn't even make sense because you can see her while she's doing this. She's supposed to be camouflaged, so she looks like she's blending into the environment. For some reason, that's not at all obvious while you're watching the trailer because she's not camouflaged at all. She's just running around in skin-tight, skin-colored clothing for no reason. And they're clearly trying to recreate like a scene from the first film, but they also seem to be taking scenes from the series as well, because I don't recall the geishas from the film. And yeah, they seem to have taken just a bunch of different things for the plot of the film. And now they're also saying Motoko is somehow the first of her kind, which has never been the case. So I'm kind of confused with what they're trying to do with this film. But
It's clear that I honestly think that the movie, for the most part, is just going to be them reusing the imagery from the movie and the shows, but have absolutely nothing to really do in terms of
Yep, that's pretty much what
plot. It's going to be all visuals and no plot. It's
as someone has pointed out, when you compare the imagery of the live-action trailer to the film or the series, it's quite clear they're taking the imagery, but they don't quite understand why it worked. In particular, they point out that this screenshot of Motoko just waking up in the bed, looking out the window, and the lighting in the film is great, and then you got the live-action comparison, and it just looks really bland. Like there's nothing particularly notable about the shot. And it's clearly them trying to copy it, but not understanding why it worked.
Yeah, it's trying to reproduce manga on the silver screen, or anime on the silver screen. It's
never really worked properly.
No, exactly.
They managed to pull it off with that. They work with the Matrix. The first Matrix film, it did work. I will say that.
Well, for example, have you guys seen the movie Goemon?
Is that the Korean or the Japanese one where they actually?
No, that's the Japanese fantasy Nobunaga.
Yes,
movie.
yes. I just seen a couple of scenes.
That one to me is the culmination of creating that anime art style in movie form. I have never seen a more something that got closer to perfection in portraying an anime movie, so to speak, as a real life thing. I mean, there was not, to my knowledge, there was no anime before that, but it captured that spirit almost fucking perfectly.
Yeah, and my problem with the new version of Ghost in the Shell, I haven't seen the trailer. I saw it's out, but my problem with it is that the original animated, the original anime movie produced by the manga corporation back in the day was so fucking revolutionary. It was so good and it was so deep. It was way deeper than any other.
You watched the film but didn't really get it at the time. Like I was more a fan of the film.
Yeah, it takes a couple of. You have to watch it at least 3 times to really get, and not every fucking scene you're able to get either, because it's so deep that you have to have a deep knowledge of Japanese storytelling to be able to get the references. And it's. I'm afraid if you westernize that shit too much, you're just gonna tank it.
Allow me to just
That's why I'm so glad Akira got canned.
Yeah.
Because that movie was going to be a train wreck.
I'm just gonna laugh at it because Jan did just try to talk up a film by just calling it deep, and it's just I'm so disappointed in Jan.
Yeah, I know. It's just that it has. I know I'm gonna use another fucking. It's just that it has a lot of layers, and
Every
like an onion. It has layers like an onion.
Yeah.
I looked at Evil's avatar with the air quote, replace fan art with whatever you just said. So deep or onion layers.
Yeah. No, but I love the 80s manga movies like Akira and Fist of the North Star and Ghost in the Shell. So I'm not big into the
Fist of the
anime
North
part.
Star movie.
Oh.
Why did you make me remember that thing?
Oh. Dude, come on. You loved it when you were a kid.
It's kind of
No,
weird.
I did not. No, I did
through, what was it called? Urotsuki Doji, Legend of the Overfiend.
Yeah.
It's a great film.
That's quite.
Yeah, it was actually considering, like the amount of tentacle rape. It was a pretty good movie.
I don't know. I just fast forward through all the talky bits and went straight to the tentacles.
Yeah.
There's actually
the fact that movie is the best there's been.
The thing is,
there's a pretty
I first
big
thought about
problem.
that film because it was on like a top 100 anime list that was just airing at like 8 p.m. at night when I was like 13. I had no idea what was going on, but suddenly just started showing tentacle rape out of nowhere.
Well, hold on.
Well, that's like all tentacle rape. It has to come out of nowhere.
First, it was Nazi zombie rape. The tentacles.
Like no one expects tentacle rape.
It's like the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, exactly. No one
The
expects.
Spanish tentacle rape.
Yeah, but should we move into the movies that are going to be released during Christmas? Because Christmas is a huge movie release, and we can't go outside next week's big release, which is Rogue One. Should we start with Rogue One?
Oh, come on.
I thought we were going to avoid this topic, Jen.
I don't want to hear about it.
Guys,
We don't want to talk about it, Jen.
No, but I'm just.
No, you're not. You fucking asshole. You're doing this on purpose.
Jan, just talk about the film. Don't talk about any controversy associated.
Do we have
No, I won't.
I'm sorry, what controversy were we speaking of? It's just a Star Wars film, guys.
There's no controversy at all. People are just making it up because they're tards.
Yep. No, but
Carry on. It doesn't exist.
I'm actually, I am looking forward to. Yeah, but I'm actually looking forward to it because I've been listening to the prequel audiobook, The Catalyst, and that seems to be. I mean, they are going very well into. They seem to very well coincide with the events of Rebels, with the events of Attack or Revenge of the Sith, and so on. So they have a lot of good backline for the movie or backstory for the movie. So
I don't know, mate. I'm more looking forward to the Russian Avengers than I look forward to Star Wars.
There's a Russian Avengers.
Oh yes,
Actually, yes,
yes.
It looks really badass.
I gotta see this movie because there's got to be more nudity and violence.
No, it's a Russian family action flick. So I'm not sure.
So more nudity and violence, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
It's
more
in the
violence.
franchise.
It's yeah, but
Somebody's getting their head blown off. That's just standard.
probably.
I'm more interested in this. Tell me more.
Punched to bits. I think there's at one point even like nano wire garroting going on.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You don't garrote someone with nanowire, you behead them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it
Well,
works.
yeah, but you get the idea.
No, but I will go and watch Rogue One. I don't care because
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah, we
Star
get
Wars
it.
nerd.
Have fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see Rogue One because I'm an '80s kid and it's required of me.
Yeah.
There is a card that I have where on the back of it says must attend every Star Wars movie. So
Yeah, I'm
And
just
I'm not
waiting
going to
until.
because I have a.
Yeah, I
have
ripped that up
a
after
simple
Revenge
rule
of the Sith.
against. I have a simple rule about not seeing spin-offs in the theater.
I have a
And
simple
it's-
rule about not watching trash, which is why I don't watch the Star Wars films.
Well, you went to.
I will
Ooh.
suffer. I will suffer so you don't have to. I will go and pay money for your sins.
Says the man who said DS9 was shit until today when he started to watch it.
Well, actually, I still think it's shit. It's just now that I'm watching it, I can say.
You will apologize, sir.
Oh boy! You don't diss
See,
the
you can say Star Wars is shit. No one said anything, but if you said Star Wars is shit, you copped it.
No.
No, it's
How
DS9.
dare you?
It's Artivus' favorite fucking TV series.
You have to remember, I'm a veteran of the geek war, so when anyone says Star Wars / Trek / Blake 7 is shit, I just don't bother responding. It's like, all right.
What's Blake 7?
Oh my god.
You're just
The
like,
one
oh,
show.
it's
I
great.
love the way that people like Tarsen always do this. It's always, I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I'm so young. When you know what it is.
I actually don't.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it before.
Next he'll
No, my fault.
just disavow any knowledge of Babylon 5 as well.
I do know about Babylon 5. I think it's shit.
Yeah, that's true.
You
Yeah,
think
it is.
everything is shit.
Because I haven't seen any of it.
Because everything is shit.
I've never heard
I
of it.
haven't seen it, therefore it's shit.
Watch it. Like, no, fuck off. I'm not watching any of your favorite shit. It's crap.
No, there's only one good show, and that is Red Dwarf.
Red Dwarf's also shit, by the way.
Great.
Oh god.
I say this in
He's
English.
such a fucking dick.
I have the qualification to tell you that Red Dwarf is shit.
Oh god.
No,
Jan, you started this.
all credibility gone.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I
you
should
just,
have never fucking mentioned it.
I bet
You
next
did
he's gonna
this.
say
We
he
told
eats
you
quite
not
a lot
to.
of pizza.
No, but I didn't know. I didn't realize.
No,
that
you
he
never
mentioned
listen,
it.
Jan. You never listen. We warn you, and you never listen. And it happens every time.
Yeah, but anyway, I will probably wait till I see what people say about Rogue One before I go into it.
Yeah, I get that because it's.
Oh, quit
you know.
lying. You're going to call it shit no matter what people say.
No, but
I'm not going to go see it until I know what people say. If people say don't go see it, I won't go see it because I know there's people that did the writers. One of them is a former social justice games journalist who did the actual screenplay for it.
By the
Gary
way,
Whitta.
Yeah.
I've seen the Dragon Ball Super live-action trailer.
Oh yeah, Dragon Ball Evolution was quite good, by the way.
Yeah, that's...
We already established you have no taste.
oh god.
yeah, you. I'm no longer angry now. Yeah, you've established that you have no taste.
So,
I should have never mentioned this. God.
You-
for my opinions now.
Yeah.
all right. Another trailer I want to talk about. What do you guys think of Kong Skull Island?
Don't care.
So,
Looks awful. Another monkey film. Don't care.
Why are they?
Yeah,
bombing an
Plippy.
island?
It's all shit.
Like, surely they could map it without bombing it.
I think it's just going to be a giant kaiju movie, and I'm okay with that.
I mean, it looks
Kaiju
fine. It's just, I don't
movies
understand the
are
logic
fun.
behind
As
bombing an
long as
island in order
it's
to map it.
90% giant. As long as it's 90% giant monsters beating the crap out of each other, and not 90% interpersonal relationships of the
They've-
humans that happen to be there.
They've said it's pretty much just giant monsters killing people and fighting each other.
Yeah, we
So-
already had a giant
Then that's
spider.
good.
Then I kind of want to see it.
Yeah,
It looks quite good.
If that's what it is, then I'll approve.
If,
You
I'm
wouldn't think that
just,
someone would notice the huge giant monkey wandering around the island. Just saying.
I'm just
No, they
hoping
knew
that
about
this is like,
No, I'm just
Pacific
tired of these giant monster movies where they barely show the giant monster that is the center focal point of the entire fucking movie.
That was my thing with the Godzilla film, the most recent one. I was there going, here we go. I will say,
Finally.
the film with Godzilla doing smashy, I was like going, yay! But to be honest, that was a grand total of 8 minutes of the goddamn film. The rest of it was me
Yeah.
there going, how did a
At least-
50-foot
and that was one
monster
of the
sneak
reasons-
up on you? How did a
that
50-foot
was-
monster sneak up at you in the dark, in the quiet?
That was one of the reason people love the new Shin Godzilla movie, because it was a lot of people talking stuff, but he was actually in the movie and the focal point and did stuff.
So do you reckon
Still too much human interaction
fighting?
that I didn't care about, but Godzilla was actually in the movie, so
Mhm.
And that's all
I'm hoping
anyone
this
wants.
is just
They're giant
I hope
monster
this
movies.
is.
Giant monsters.
I think a lot of people learned from Pacific Rim that you could have giant things fighting each other and people will be satisfied.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously, but it's much cooler if they were actually dudes in silly rubber costumes. If you ask me.
You know what? I don't miss the rubber costumes.
Have you guys seen what was it? Sharktopus versus Veil Wolf.
Oh no, we're not going down this rabbit hole
What?
any further with you.
Oh, Jed, we can't go down this rabbit hole, but you got to keep up bringing up fucking Rogue One. No, we're going down the sci-fi movie shitstorm that is this. I've never heard of it, and I want to know more.
Once. And we agreed not to talk about the
Okay.
stupid shit around it.
In the course of this show so far, I have unironically used the term "what" more often than I have in the entire proceeding. Seriously, what?
Well, there's always Fast and Furious 8. Why did they do that?
No,
Wait. In the chat,
That's not a
1 year
what,
ago,
that's a sigh.
in this says,
That's-
1 year ago we were all hyped up and disgusted by episode 7. I wasn't disgusted by episode 7. I enjoyed it.
No, but the point is that around this time, everybody or a lot of people were talking about boycotting episode 7 because
Dan.
Okay,
bullshit, basically.
let's get real with that. Okay,
That's what
everybody
he was talking
knows everybody knows that was troll bullshit.
Yeah.
With a handful of serious people latching onto it.
yeah, which
Yeah,
is
they were
exactly
trying
this,
to cause
this
a false
stuff is-
outrage kind of
yeah.
bullshit. And to be perfectly honest,
Yeah.
it didn't catch on till they dropped it, and
Yeah.
they're trying to do that with Rogue One, which is why I think Rogue One probably sucks, because they're leaning hard into a controversy to try and get guilt fucking watches and
Controversy.
well,
marketing.
Background
controversy views.
in January, there was a call and they had a whole load of new people to come in and shoot new scenes and rewrite the script. So that tells you
looks
things
amazing.
weren't all super happy.
That
I
shot,
don't-
amazing.
I don't care. It's one of those things where it's not a mainline series movie. It's not the Han Solo movie.
And think of it this way: it's another Star Wars prequel. People.
Because that's what we all wanted. We wanted another one of those.
As long as it's better than Attack of the Clones, I'll be happy.
Hey, Attack of the Clones at least had Natalie Portman in those outfits. At least it had that going for it.
Yeah. Well, it's
Claiming to be not interested
there's
in being dressed up like that. I'm not interested in you.
There's a really simple way to tell if Plippy likes a movie. Is there an attractive woman in it in skimpy outfits?
Yeah, Plippy's on board.
Then he likes the movie.
Yeah.
That's it.
Actually, no. At least I will say I can at least take that away from me. I can at least take that.
Yeah. But there's also the Assassin's Creed movie.
That beautiful train wreck.
Yep.
A video game movie, everybody. Be hyped. A Ubisoft will have no less. So let's look forward to this one.
I'm gonna laugh my ass off if the movie itself starts glitching and doesn't work.
Oh, yeah.
Like if characters in the movie just vanish and there's somebody just talking to random nothingness.
That joke has been made a lot.
I want some floating teeth and ability as well.
Look,
just teeth and a pair of eyeballs floating in the air.
When I was watching the interview with one of the guys, and he's like, "Yeah, we wanted to put all the things from the game in," and then he said that dreaded line, and then we wanted to put stuff of our own shit in. I'm like, done.
Well, guys, I
Put
just
your own
want
shit
to
in.
know that there is currently a Tetris movie in production.
Yeah.
Is it that Russian?
I thought that was a joke.
Nope.
I thought that was Pixels. I thought I already did that.
It's actually happening.
Yeah.
And its sequel, Ghostbusters: Who You Wanna Call? That was a sequel to Pixels.
Well, they've done Battleship, so
I never actually watched Battleship.
why the fuck
Like,
not?
unless the game was about a Tetris tournament, there's no way you can make that movie without being dumb fucking retarded.
Yes,
I'm guessing they're going to just ask Ben Kukera for advice on what the plot will be, because he's come up with a pretty convincing plot about what Tetris is really about.
Russian sympathies. Stalin.
And basically, yeah.
How to stack bodies? Stalin.
I think what Artivous wants is a new version of the Wizard. That 1989 Nintendo.
that would be a whole lot better than whatever else they'd come up with.
It's not bad.
But who would replace Fred Savage?
Anybody.
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh no.
Flippy, I will fly to the UK and stab you in the eye.
He's like,
It's not Shia LaBeouf's fault. Everyone else thought he would be really popular. And then shoved him in every
Shia LaBeouf
film
playing
he's ever joined.
Tetris. Shia LaBeouf. He just got a line piece.
Oh God, poor Shia.
The only way you can do that
Shia
is if he's
LaBeouf.
playing Tetris and he's there behind himself doing the whole do it speech.
He and Jaden Smith need to play in a movie together just for the hell of it.
Yeah, I'll have Jaden Smith with his one expression. That really sort of confused look.
Pieces and use the light.
Yeah, he just needs to have the constantly perplexed look on his face throughout the entire film, with the in the background going, "Do it!" behind him, and we never know what he's supposed to be doing. It'll be like the Cube.
And he's like, how can I do it if my hands aren't real?
Or him just screaming into the mirror every 5 minutes. I'm not famous anymore. No, you're infamous now.
But I must say, anyway, Jaden Smith has a film, they have to have free Wi-Fi.
Oh yes, of course, because you need to live tweet that shit.
Oh yeah.
No, because everywhere his forehead looks like a Wi-Fi signal.
Oh,
It does, doesn't it?
Oh.
Connection at all times. Is that how he knows what we're all really thinking?
It's his mom, you know.
I honestly think that he could
Will
have had a
Smith
decent career, but he's not concerned about having a career. He's just concerned with being edgy, and
He likes being popular. That's the thing. He likes to be the center of attention, even if that means being a crazy person.
Have you heard that Leslie Jones wants to be in the new Deadpool movie?
Jesus is a liar.
No, guys, I could actually see this happening with a fourth wall breaking scene where Deadpool harasses her on Twitter.
Oh yes,
No.
yes, yes.
No.
You know what? I'm okay with that.
There's actually a movie that is being released this Christmas that I'm kind of looking forward to. Not just because there's a Norwegian director behind it, but Passengers, the science fiction movie with Chris Pratt and Jennifer. I'm getting paid more than anybody else. Lawrence.
Oh, that
You
looks
should-
lame to me.
Is she being paid for her expression now? Because I know she just doubled for a second expression during a film.
I don't know. Morton Tildum is known for not.
It just looks like a
directing.
really bad sci-fi romantic comedy.
I'm not sure. I haven't actually seen any trailers for it.
It seemed like good one, so maybe go, hey, I wouldn't mind saying that.
Yeah. And again, it's
Chris Pratt in it, I'm always down to
yeah, Chris Pratt in tight pants, Plippy's favorite thing.
Sexy people, that's my bag. I can't deny it.
You have no taste.
No, but Morton Tildum is actually a really good director. It might be a little bit slow. It's not action paced, but I think it's going to be a good sci-fi.
Well, now we know that Artivous isn't actually going to go if it's just me, him, and Chris Pratt in the room. I've got nothing to worry about from Artivous.
You know, and they have Lawrence
You
Fishburne.
know
in there
what? You
just
can
for
have
some
Chris
diversity.
Pratt all you want.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just let me leave the fucking room.
No, you have to stay and watch now, man. You've
No,
inserted yourself into this.
fuck no.
You inserted yourself into this, and now you have to watch.
No, I'm not inserting myself into anything.
Yes, you did. You said I had no taste. Now you join in the party.
No.
Oh God.
I will gouge my own eyes out before I ever witness anything that horrifying.
Really? That means you can't see what I'm about to do to you. With the eye sockets. With the two men there.
That's probably a good thing.
You've got options now.
God, why does it always devolve into some gay shit with you?
Flippy?
Yeah.
You have a corrupting effect on everyone.
Yeah, maybe. No, but it doesn't look too bad this winter, basically, when it comes to movies that are coming out. Yeah. and there's also the Beauty and the Beast thing, which
Here's the thing I can't stand about this movie is I've always hated this movie because it's always been the stupidest fucking concept.
Really?
What particular part of the concept drove you off? There's quite a big part of the story which is
Hold on. We just
It's the stupidest. Okay, first of all, Gaston did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
We just covered
Gaston is a douchebag, but he did nothing wrong.
thing you can think of.
Yeah. The Beauty and the Beast you have a problem with, but Sky Shark gets a pass?
No, okay, here's the problem. Is you have a girl who literally trades her freedom for her father's. Where her dad was going to be locked up for just being in a place.
Yeah.
And it's Stockholm Syndrome Barbie. Like, it's the stupidest fucking thing. Like, it reaffirms every bullshit reason that girls have. Oh, well, he's not a complete asshole and a jackass. He really loves me. It's like, it's spews that the entire fucking time. Yeah. And I'm sitting here thinking, it's like, okay, I get it. She's into bestiality. She wants to get fucked doggy style. Good. Whatever. But it's this whole, like, this concept about all this beautiful love story between this abusive man and this idiotic bookworm.
Yeah.
It's the stupidest fucking thing ever.
It's this idea that it's
a Disney fairy tale.
Yeah.
I just want to throw this out there. You got to be careful with superlatives, like, stupidest thing ever, considering some of the shit that we've talked about.
Yeah.
Where do you find this?
That's okay. It's the stupidest Disney movie ever. There.
Cars? Are there cars at Disney?
Even worse than Frozen.
Even
I
worse than
like
Frozen.
I like Frozen.
I like Frozen.
This Mermaid, which completely ruined the moral of the original story where everyone died.
Yeah, Disney don't go with that.
Yeah.
Disney,
It's the same. No.
ruins
But it's the same thing with
It's
Cinderella. You
even
gotta
worse than
remember,
Cars 2.
everybody
Oh,
got
boy.
punished. Everybody got punished in Cinderella. All of them. The stepmom, the stepsisters, all of them got really harshly punished. I mean, one of them had to dance around in shoes that were basically iron shoes that were heated up by coals. So yeah,
fair enough punishment for me.
You know, I'd still rather do that than watch the Ghostbusters movie.
yeah. Good point. Good point.
People have always said to me, because I'm a massive, massive fan of Ghostbusters growing up, and I actually was one, not one of these people that suddenly became one. But I will say, people who are big fans always saying seeing the new ones and inevitability. Not for me. I don't want to see it at all. I don't think I'll even watch it if it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I get that.
I think that's my. There is no inevitability of me watching that film ever.
Good.
And think about how I will actually quite sit there and watch the Star Wars prequels, and at the time I went, it's still good. It's still good, you guys. It could really all wrap up, guys. I was the guy doing that, and I don't want to give that Ghostbusters film the time of day.
Yeah.
Exactly. I watched it for academic reasons, and I wish I hadn't.
Yeah,
I'm
in
not
the same
gonna
boat as Evil.
I'm not gonna watch it for academic reasons.
Nope.
Just basically,
I quit.
I don't want
at
to taint. I don't want to taint my fucking ability to write screenplays by watching that shit. I'm not touching it.
It is a good movie to watch to know what not to do.
Well, I've seen enough movies to know what not to do. I don't need another one.
Yeah, but you haven't seen it all in one film.
Yeah, it's literally all in one film.
Good point. Good point.
Is this worse than The Room? Is this what? Is it? Because The Room, the whole point of it is it was just objectively bad in every way. Recasting characters midway through. The whole thing didn't make sense. Pointless scenes, a drug deal going on for some bizarre reason. Playing football throwing
No, but here's the thing:
the
the room is entertaining.
Yeah,
it's fun
true,
to
yes.
watch because it's such a train wreck.
Just like Plan 9 from Outer Space and Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Yeah.
It's just
Ghostbusters is not fun to watch, and it's a train wreck.
Do you get the feeling, because from all the people who've seen it, does it give off the impression that it thinks it's really funny?
Yes.
Oh dear.
What are we talking about now?
Ghostbusters.
It is thoroughly
imagine-
convinced that it is hilarious.
Oh, boy.
Imagine, if you will, that Santa Claus Conquered the Martians had been full of Red Scare bullshit.
Yeah.
That's essentially the problem with Ghostbusters. It tries to lecture you while joking, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh, so basically every TV show that came out of The Daily Show and Jon Stewart left.
Yeah, essentially.
Yep.
Let's laugh at something, but you're usually aware of this concern. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I didn't laugh. That's absurdity. You're trying to be serious about something that itself is absurd.
Yep.
It was the ultimate story about friendship. It was the ultimate story about friendship.
Hey, you want to hear something absurd that's seasonally related?
Okay.
Yes, please.
Originally, Santa Claus wore a green suit, and Coca-Cola turned it red.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
That's actually true.
Coca-Cola
Yeah,
colors.
I know it's true. That's why I said it.
Actually, it wasn't Coca-Cola, but it was an artist that Coca-Cola used, and he had drawn Santa Claus with a red suit earlier than when he was hired.
I thought I heard Tentaclaws from you. And I'd just like to point out that is an awesome idea that no one can ever steal from me.
I hate to break it to you.
It's already
It's
happened.
out.
Yep.
God damn it.
There's actually even a sequel.
Oh, shit.
But dude, I know you can draw, and you should totally draw that.
Tentaclaws.
Yes.
Mrs. Tentaclaws?
There's, I do know there was even an entire show about Cthulhu moonlighting as Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah, but, there's no bottomless pit when it comes to
It sounds
Christmas
like a lame
movies.
version of The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I would like to see someone do a good adaptation of the Hogfather, where the Grim Reaper pretends to be Santa Claus.
No, there actually is a BBC version of Hogfather.
I know, no Sky.
Yeah, Sky. That's right. And
apart from the girl who played Susan Stowe Haylett, I thought the rest of it was just like, this is so badly cast.
Really? I didn't think it was that bad.
But you know what? It was still Terry Pratchett, so I gave it a pass. Because I'd rather see some Terry Pratchett done badly than no Terry Pratchett at all.
Yes, I will say that. So the Susan Stowe Haylett was spot on casting, though.
Yeah. Well, the other ones are really good.
Color Magic was cast pretty badly as well.
All right, guys, picture this: Discworld with The Rock as Rincewind.
Couldn't be worse than David. Couldn't be worse than David Jason. Couldn't be worse than David Jason as Rincewind.
No, I'm gonna check something because
the problem with the Terry Pratchett adaptations is they go a certain distance, but they don't put the rest of the money in to go the full distance and make it good. That's the real problem.
The problem is that they had David Jason because I think they had him under contract to do Discworld-y stuff. And thought, Rincewind, even though he had played Alfred before. And Rincewind is not an old man. He's at most mid-40s.
Yeah, and he's not that build either.
Yeah, he's skinny. He's described as being skinny.
He's like a rake, yes.
Well, if you've ever seen the games, I think the games nail the way he looks perfectly. Perpetually nervous.
Yeah, I've seen a few of the games.
Could blow away in a stiff wind.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Every other wizard is a fat prick. He's the only skinny one.
Yes, apart from... who's the guy who made Hex?
The nerdy ones that actually did research.
Yeah.
Stibbons.
Not Wendell
Stibbons.
Stibbons, yes, Mr. Stibbons.
And here's a thing for us Discworld fans. The Watch is still ongoing. They're still trying to develop the series from the Night Watch books. The Night Watch books.
It's nice. I was kind of depressed earlier because you were all talking about Discord, and I had nothing to say because I haven't read that particular part of the Discord series, the Rincewind novels.
Yeah.
But the Watch stuff, I love that stuff. So
the Watch is my favorite.
Stuff comes out fine.
Yeah. The Watch is my favorite faction of them all.
It's described to become like a Pratchett-style CSI, basically based in Ankh-Morpork.
I have no idea what that means.
I would watch that.
I would.
I don't have enough butter for my nipples. I'll just go back and get some.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of. Here's the thing. There's a lot of good entertainment on the horizon. It's just that we have to suffer through some bad shit right now because there's still movies in productions that didn't realize that pandering doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Do you realize you don't have to sit through this stuff? You can just ignore it like I do.
Yeah, guys. What about this one, right? Casting as Captain Carrot Iron Founderson, The Rock.
Yes. Absolutely yes.
I could see that.
You'd have to whiten him up a bit, though. Well, no, he comes from high up in the mountains. You could have him as a Samoan.
Here's a hard cast for you. Who could we actually get? Arnold Schwarzenegger to play Cohen the Barbarian, considering his age.
No, Hulk Hogan.
He has to.
Hulk Hogan.
You have him play Old Conan. You have him play Old Conan.
Yeah, Cohen the Barbarian.
But Cohen, the joke about Cohen is that he's pathetically spindly yet still wrecks everyone. That's the joke.
What is good in life? Soft
How
toilet
about
paper.
Veterinary played by Christopher Walken?
That would work.
Jeremy
That
Irons.
would work.
What about Jeremy Irons when he actually gives a crap? He'd be a good choice.
Yeah, but there's.
And whoever the villain is, James Woods.
Yeah.
But hold on, who plays Hitler?
Oh god, did maybe a scrawny little weird guy.
Chris Tucker.
Who's playing
Oh
Nob?
my god! You
What's
fucking
that
asshole.
Night Watch officer who's uncharismatic, is what they were saying. Like, the opposite of charismatic. He's so uncharismatic that he attracts attention and is thus charismatic by default.
You mean the guy from Making Money?
No, like he's part of the Night Watch, and he's the guy who ends up falling with the half goblin lady.
Oh,
Nobby.
Oh,
Nobby,
Nobby, yeah, Nobby.
It's like,
Oh, good. Danny DeVito.
Is there
Nobby knobs.
is there a human that exists that can play Nobby Knobs? Is there a human that has a proportions?
The dude from Love Actually, the guy who plays
The guy who played Baldrick.
Oh yeah, Tony Robinson could work,
Yeah,
but
a
he's
big
a little bit too old to play Nobby.
he's a
what
big
about the Black
cracker.
Ghostbuster lady?
How about Peter Coffin?
Playing Nobby?
Oh no, he needs to be charismatic, even though he's not charismatic. I'm talking about the guy who played in Love Actually, who played
Never saw that film.
the British guy who traveled to America. What the fuck is his name again? God damn it! Oh,
We'll
Give me
come
a
back to it
second.
later.
yeah, give me a second.
Dead
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
no.
It's like talking
we
to my
have-
mother. It's basically, the guy who's in that thing that time. The bloke who's in that thing. They're going, I have no idea.
They have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
It's like, yes, you do. It's the guy from that thing. And it's like,
Chris
no,
Marshall.
If I knew what you're
Chris,
talking about, I would.
Chris Marshall. He played in the. Give me a second. I'm gonna find it. It's he played in. What's it called again? God damn it! I'm only getting the Norwegian version. My Family.
Here's the thing, though. Chris Marshall does not look like he could only just barely pass for human. He looks like, you might be a bit wondering if he's truly fully human, but you wouldn't think, no, he's not human. You would think he's at least half human.
Yeah.
yeah, you'd have to, you would actually, I think you might have to do you'd have to spend some money, but you'd have to CG Nobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exist to
Yes.
play
I
it.
don't know.
Godfather, they got
How about
some-
Danny DeVito? Do you think that he could pull it off?
Danny DeVito could pull it off, but he's a little bit too.
No, Danny DeVito could do it, yes. Doesn't matter how old he is, just do it.
Have to starve him for a while, though.
Anyways, do we have anything else that we want to cover?
We still haven't covered Handjob Cabin.
Yes,
We did.
we skipped over hand job cabin, and I need to know more.
God damn it! I don't really need to know that.
You shut your whore mouth. You kept breaking up your shit.
Oh,
I am waiting and I am listening.
I
right back.
get excited about all of the big, Hollywood shit like, Star Wars or Transformers, but I like the really schlocky,
yeah,
independent crap. That is a joy for me.
yeah, and that's also where you get the interesting sort of settings and storylines now.
Like Nazi sharks.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not knocking it.
Now, how does one turn a shark into a Nazi specifically? I want to know
Indoctrination.
details.
Same way you turn a
But
pup.
how do you indoctrinate a shark? Or does
First,
that
must
mean that there's little
understand
Jew sharks
that
that wear
all
like?
sharks are
you
ultimately
wait.
made of white meat.
Yeah, but what you do is you make them wait to the point until they're in a kind of like economic and sort of like feeling like they're disenfranchised. Then you blame all their problems on the dolphins. And then, no matter how high they get in society, tell them they're always at the bottom. No matter how much power they
Fucking
have, keep telling them that they're at the
We
bottom.
do have a local shark expert. Evil, sharks are kind of your thing.
No, he's not at his mic right now. He's there.
That's Roy. Roy's in charge of the sharks. I'm in charge of the giant moon laser.
Yeah, but the idea
Okay, I
of
call dibs on the robot
indoctrinating.
spiders.
And you realize that we had to split that up after I attempted to mount the giant monster on a shark. And well, that wasn't
Oh, the dolphins, casting the dolphins as the Jews. That is. having them with
know
tiny
the nose
yarmulkes, with tiny yarmulkes over their blowholes, sort of counting money in the background.
No.
Hold on, I'm photoshopping this right now.
And every time, and every time it's exciting, every time the sharks turn up, the little yarmulke sort of floats above the head as the blowhole spurts in surprise.
They are a special breed of bottlenose dolphins where the bottle hooks down a bit.
Oh fucking god! Why?
Correction, I
Did
don't
you
have
know?
to
Did you know
Photoshop
that the shark makes
They are-
77 clams to each
Actually, I don't have
dolphin's
to
crab?
Photoshop it. It already
Oh
exists.
god.
Yeah. I'm back.
So yes, we were just
we have
discussing.
bigotry against killer whales because sharks make, killer whales only get 77 cents on the dollar. You look at
That's
how
fat
much Free
shaming.
Willy made.
And it has,
Yeah, exactly.
it has nothing to do with killer whales. Only studying whale stuff in college, because the sharks actually, when they went to college, they actually studied things that mattered, hunting, how to have a cool theme song
Navigation.
while you're
And
moving
meanwhile,
through the water.
you've got fucking Shamu learning how to do water ballet.
Yeah. Fucking awkward.
If it wasn't for state subsidies,
Yeah.
goddamn,
Yeah.
whales would have no livelihood at all.
Free Willy, fuck you. Fuck you, Free Willy. You
Yeah,
freeloader.
More like
Freeloader.
500 pound Willy.
Yeah, well, basically, you had all those dolphins and all those killer whales, in the bourgeois water tanks performing for the cheering crowds.
Yeah.
When fish of teeth were left out there in the cold.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the fucking aquarium fuckers started complaining about being oppressed, while the sharks are being hunted for shark fin soup by Japanese all the time. Nobody gives a shit about the sharks. That's why they turn Nazi. That's why they turn Nazi. Fucking Japanese people.
I mean, have you ever seen all that anti-shark propaganda? I mean, the Jaws series. Come on now.
Yeah. I mean, seriously.
It just gets to a point where a shark wants to fight for things that benefit sharks.
I'm just saying. Shig Tao. Sharks going their own way. It's just, sharks.
We are all completely horrible people.
Yes, we are.
The problem with these shark movies is none of them have freaking laser beams attached to their heads.
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay,
You didn't give
this
the
should have
sharks a
been-
fighting chance. God damn you, Hollywood.
This whole thing needed to be a SpongeBob SquarePants episode.
Just saying, shark lives matter.
And basically, afterwards, when the sharks have got basically all of society doing everything to help them, you keep telling them they're still at the bottom, and no matter what happens, they're okay. When they eat their fellow sea life, that other life deserved it. They're built in oppression. They can't hunt other sea life because.
And then you lecture them about great white privilege.
Yeah.
I already watched Angry Birds yesterday. I don't need more of this crap.
Angry Birds is a great film.
Yeah. Why are you dissing on Angry Birds?
Heavy head.
Angry Birds is obviously Palestinian propaganda against the Jews of Israel.
Oh. Oh. Eating equals consuming plus privilege.
Excellent.
God damn it.
But
Excellent.
shouldn't it be eating equals consuming times privilege? Because plus privilege, if the shark has zero privilege, I'm just saying.
You think the sharks are Jews, all right?
Have you joined the Piscean Plus movement?
I don't know. It's a good something for it, John. God
I
damn it.
think you're broken.
I think we're all broken. I mean, we've spent the last 15 minutes just talking about sharks and shark movies. I think we're running out of topics, and we're
And yet we haven't talked about Jaws once.
What?
Also,
The
we
one reboot that hasn't happened.
Oh
we also
no! Don't
talked
say it!
about
Don't say
Mega
it!
Shark versus Colossus or Sharktopus versus Terracuda.
Sharknado.
No, I want a
15.
strict Jaws reboot
No,
with
you
Chris Tucker.
don't. No, you don't.
No,
I think we're
No,
gonna need a bigger boat.
Okay.
if your film idea includes the word reboot,
Oh my fucking
the answer is no.
I always like doing the whole Ruby Rod routine when the shark shows up.
With Danny DeVito as the shark.
Actually,
What?
the chat wants a feminist Jaws reboot.
Yeah.
No. Danny DeVito is the boat captain. He needs like a crate.
Yeah,
to
Danny
get to
DeVito's the
wheel.
boat
Yeah.
captain.
Yeah.
I need chemotherapy.
No, seriously, if you're gonna have a feminist Jaws reboot, the captain needs to be Leslie Jones, and then
They already had a feminist Jaws, didn't you know? Like Jaws 3 was the revenge coming back to avenge her
Oh
son.
yes,
Yeah.
God
And then
fucking damn it.
yeah.
Because of white male human oppression.
No, the feminist Jaws, that should be a very anemic male.
Does everything have to turn into social justice warrior bullshit?
Yes, it does. All you care about.
God.
That's all I care about, man. You have to have an
Can't
anemic-
we talk about
Do anything.
anything?
Look, I tried. I
Okay.
tried to segue into the whole Nazi sharks thing.
Anything.
Okay, something that recently pissed me off a little bit. Amy Keitel, who otherwise does, or Keitel, does a really good vintage space YouTube channel, and she did a tribute to John Glenn's passing, which was respectful in many ways, except she got down to the point saying several times, you couldn't be a person like John Glenn anymore. It's like, why the fuck not? The guy was, he was a war hero. He was an upstanding individual. He was the clean Marine and the Boy Scout of all the astronauts. Out of all the people that you could look up to as a role model, he's the guy who actually lived what other people would consider a stereotype.
Yeah.
And
I
she
mean,
said,
Buzz-
no, you can't have
Yeah.
somebody like that to look up to anymore. Why the fuck not?
Buzz, I mean, if your favorite person was Buzz Aldrin, you'd just go around punching people who disagreed with you.
Goddamn
I
right.
watched that. That motherfucker deserved it.
Yeah, but it's
It's not even a matter of disagreeing. It's chasing after him, saying, "You faked landing on the moon, didn't you? You faked landing on the moon." It's
Yeah.
like that's not a disagreement. That's saying,
Yep. No, I'm
I would
kidding.
have slid the guy, and I never landed on the moon.
Yeah. No, but the whole John Glenn thing, and like probably one of the greatest people on the face of the planet died. So one of the true heroes of humanity that were still alive, which is really
So
sad.
another one on the pile this year.
Yeah, it's just fuck you, 2016. You're taking all the heroes.
Dude, I
the
was
thing-
permanently broken after Bowie. I
Yeah.
can't.
No, but
Muhammad Ali and Bowie for me, I'm over.
Yeah. No, but the thing that this sort of touches into, and the reason why she is kind of right when she says you can't have heroes like that anymore. The reason is they've basically destroyed the opportunity for people to be that hero, because that kind of life, as a man, you're no longer supposed to.
Oh my
aspire
God! You're trying to get away from the social justice warrior bullshit.
Yeah, but
But-
it's just
Hold on,
yeah.
since you mentioned
Okay, and
Bowie,
no, I will take exception to that anyways, because you can live a life like that if
Yeah.
you choose. It's hard. It is difficult to be the honorable, upstanding individual. I think
Well,
the
hold
real
on.
problem is that many people have made it an unrewarding path.
well, you gotta also see it like this, like if you look at, for example, people like Bowie, he will be forever our idol here, mostly because he has a second identity as the sovereign.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
did films about heroin, young girls on heroin, that sort of thing.
No, he's the head of the. Oh, never
Yep.
mind.
Are you talking about the Goblin King?
No, I'm talking about the
Are you talking about the Voodoo?
I'm talking about the leader of the League of Calamitous Intent.
Yeah.
That wasn't really Bowie, though. That was a guy pretending to be Bowie that had shape-shifting powers. You're not up to date on your episodes, sir.
The
So
Voodoo.
Pisces Plus, right? That's a
Fucking
movement.
And he got killed brutally.
The Voodoo that he do. The you do. Voodoo.
Shut up, Ken.
Guys, let's just fill out the last 10 minutes with gibberish and we'll be done, okay?
I think we actually can end it early this time because I think we're
Well,
running out of
there's-
stuff to talk about.
There's one other thing that I'm kind of both looking forward to and not, and that is Mech Warrior 5 finally coming out. The trailer for that has been made, and unfortunately, and this is what kind of pisses me off, it's Piranha Games doing it again. They're the ones who did the Mech Warrior Online reboot, which I'll give them credit. The Mech Warrior Online version that they do is better than any of the Mech Warrior Online attempts done before. It still doesn't really hit on the soul of what make Battletech.
It's not Mech Warrior. That's the problem. It doesn't feel like Mech Warrior. It feels like a first-person shooter, not a big clumpy thing.
Yeah. That's the gravitas of being in a mech running around is not really there.
I think even it doesn't even beat BattleTech 2, which is my earliest.
If I had to recommend any of the older games, it would have to be Mech Warrior 4 Mercenaries, including the new expansions to that. Those were both very good.
The reason I'm bringing up BattleTech is because I can't get it to run anymore. I had it for my Amiga 500. And being a wee lipper, I could barely play it, but I so desperately wanted to try. So if anyone knows how to get that thing running, I'd like you to revisit it some many years later.
I believe there are actual fan ports that have been done for the PC. I cannot speak at all for Amiga, but
Okay. I'd like to be Jason Youngblood again.
I bet you would.
Anyways, the game I was waiting for got canceled or got postponed. So
Again? Which one?
South Park.
It got postponed again?
No, it got postponed earlier in the fall, I guess. But it was supposed to be out already, but it didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to come out
3 days ago. Tuesday.
I honestly think that's because Matt Stone and Trey Parker they're not going to release something that's unfinished.
No, exactly.
And it was the same way with the Stick of Truth. They want the game to be finished before they release it, and since they have complete control over the property, it's not going to come out until it's finished, which is good.
Yeah, it's always been their hallmark is to always be, release things when they're done.
I thought their hallmark was basically
rush it,
getting it in 10 minutes before it was set to air.
Yeah. But that's the TV series.
When it comes to games, they got burned really badly a couple generations ago, and so they're really picky and really stringent upon it.
It's the same thing with when they're making movies and so on. They are really. That's why Team America took so long to make, because they're
the really, amount of anal.
Yeah, they are really, really detail oriented. So, yeah. But it's all good. I think that's it for this week. I don't think we got any.
We didn't talk about you fucking mannequins in your basement again in this episode. So Jen does that.
Yeah. Anyways,
I will say, I did get. This will only take about 30 seconds. I did finally install and get playing Final Fantasy 15, and in 2 days, I've racked up 21 hours of gameplay.
You can get lost, dude.
Yeah, I've not had a lot of sleep. I'm a bit knackered at the moment. It is fantastic, though. It is fantastic.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it for this week's Unsolicited Opinions. I've been your host, the Meerkat Monarch, and with me this week has been my co-host, Artivous Ira, and also our overlord, Dr. Evil, and Roy, Shrek, Tarsen, and Plippy. Bye!
Pisces plus.